The authorities in Tenerife are disembarking passengers from the Dutch-flagged cruise ship hit by an outbreak of hantavirus, which arrived early this morning at the port of Granadier. These are the live pictures. The World Health Organization says no one on board is currently displaying symptoms of the virus, but the vessel has been anchored away from the port as a precaution. Passengers are being brought to land in small groups by the military. They will all be screened before they are transferred in secure buses and driven to the airport for the repatriation flights that have been arranged. At no stage in this process will the passengers come into contact with members of the public. A short while ago, the Spanish Health Minister gave us this update on the operation.
This operation is an unprecedented operation. I want to thank to the WHO, to the ECDC, to all the administrations, all the countries that are involved. This operation requires the cooperation of 23 countries. I want to remark this. 23 countries are involved in this operation. I want to thank all the institutions, the WHO, of course, and when all the passengers remain asymptomatic. The boat has arrived at 6:30 p.m. The entire operation is proceeding normally, and as I said, the first to disembark will be the Spanish citizens, and then the flight to the Netherlands will depart.
Well, let's go live to Tenerife and speak to our correspondent, Guy Hedgecoe, who is there. It seems to be progressing quite quickly, this guy. Who's come off first and what do we know?
Well, it does seem to be going pretty quickly, Christian. The Spanish passengers were off first. There are 14 Spaniards on board the boat. We were told they were going to be the first off, and that was the case. They were transferred here to the island, and then they've just boarded a bus, a so-called bubble bus that has taken them to southern Tenerife airport, and that's a sort of 10 or 15-minute drive away, and then they're going to get straight onto the plane that's going to take them to Madrid for quarantine. We expect Dutch passengers to come off soon. British passengers are expected to be among the first to come off as well. So the process continues, but it is expected to take quite a long time, quite a few hours at least. And there's a possibility it could continue into tomorrow. And that's in great part because the passengers are coming off in these small groups, and they can only come off the boat when their flight is ready pretty much to depart from the nearby airport.
Yes, several governments arranging their own repatriation flights. I understand the UK passengers are going to Merseyside, to Arrow Park Hospital on the Wirral, which in fact hosted British people returning from China at the start of the COVID pandemic. So there are protocols in place in each of these countries, and they're well used to dealing with this kind of scenario.
Yes, that's right. I mean, the UK passengers going to Arrow Park, for example, will undergo a 72-hour observation there, and then officials will decide what happens to them if they have to undergo self-isolation or some other kind of quarantine. I think each country is deciding how it manages the quarantine issue. Here in Spain, those Spaniards who are heading to Madrid now will go to a military hospital, Gómez Ulla in Madrid. They are due to undergo their quarantine there. We're told it is a compulsory quarantine. There was a little bit of confusion about that over the last couple of days, but it is compulsory. But I think each country is going to decide exactly how the quarantine works once the passengers arrive in their country.
Guy Hedgecoe in Tenerife, thank you very much. We'll continue to watch that as that disembarkation continues.